The most dangerous activity I participate in is probably the best thing I do to protect my community. It's way more dangerous than hitting 170 miles an hour on a nearly empty highway just outside the city. In a nonviolent resistance movement, many people need to be willing to take risks, large and small. Whether it be breaking some minor law which impedes on higher level principles like human rights, or using your body to protect other people so that they can fully express their civil rights, a massive number of people, far more than there are today, need to be doing their anarchist calisthenics in order to stop the rise of American fascism. My favorite way to serve my community is by doing what is called corking, which I will explain fully in just a minute. I think it's important that I show you this because corking not just impacts your life in the streets, but the effectiveness of peaceful actions that seek to protect your rights and save the future of this country. So I'm glad you're here, and I'm going to stop lecturing you now, but I just want to mention that I have dropped far more comprehensive resources about this topic down in the description for anybody that might be feeling activated after this video. So corking is where you use a bicycle, a motorcycle, or just your body to keep a march safe by managing traffic. When you're doing a march direct action, corkers have one of the most important roles because corkers are responsible for interacting with the general public around the action and for protecting the marchers from the biggest safety risks. Heather Heyer is a name that a lot of people know because she was killed when a white supremacist ran her down in 2017 at a peaceful protest in Charlottesville, North Carolina. These types of marches can be popular targets for right-wing extremists, but just as likely is something that happened on the 4th of July in 2020 right here in Seattle. That night, a Black Femme march in solidarity with Black Lives Matter and against police brutality spilled out into the main thoroughfare that goes right through the heart of Seattle, I-5. Washington State Patrol shut down the on-ramps in order to try to protect the protesters, but a man in a white Jaguar XJL drove the wrong direction up an off-ramp, drove around barriers that the marchers set up, hit two people, and killed one of them, Summer Taylor. A corker's job is to intercept any potentially reckless cars that might be a safety risk to marchers. That's why bicycles and motorcycles and scooters are the key tool of the corker. They operate as a speed-enhancing mobile barrier and shield. You become modern-day cavalry. There are also different roles in corking. The two relevant to this conversation are side corkers and pushers. As you're marching down the street, side corkers cover the left and right, and the pusher takes the front. Both roles require you to de-escalate and problem solve on the fly. But pushers have the most complicated and dangerous role, handling opposite direction traffic at the front. So of course, that's the role that I'm volunteering for. So that's all you really need to know before I tell you the story of what happened when I was corking for Palestine the other day. Before I get to the story, I don't think I've showed people this sick poster I got for free at a co-op. This event was organized by local students who were walking out of class to do a unpermitted march through the heart of Seattle. Going back to a concept I've talked about now in the last couple of videos, threat modeling. Let me walk you through how I threat modeled for this direct action. Literally, as I record this, there are right-wing propagandists at the White House looking to manufacture more excuses in order to increase the militarization on American streets. They have all been in Portland for the last week trying to provoke activists and random people into attacking them so that they have something really good to bring to this meeting. So I knew that I wasn't going to have to worry about any of them for this action. And students doing walkouts for Palestine aren't the crew that's like doing property damage and throwing shit at the cops. Seattle cops make way too much money to risk it by hassling people who are just having a peaceful, organized walk down the street. I also think that their calculus is that these types of actions are doing more to scare and piss off normal people than they are to build solidarity. And so it's actually working in the favor of the police by building support for more aggressive policing actions. Right now, we exist in a political environment where the conversations being had are, what exactly is the line where you can say that you were scared enough that it makes it legally justifiable to run down protesters?
So if you drive off and you hit one of these people, that's their fault for impinging on you.
And so these factors are why I predicted that the biggest, most likely threat to this march was randos recklessly driving their cars around or through marchers. And just to be clear, I found this event by scrolling social media randomly. I have no affiliation with the students or any other group there. I had never in my life met almost any of these people prior to this event. I did not get names or details of anyone that I did meet. I only know what I'm presenting here, so don't fucking ask. I came to the event knowing that it was a march, and so knowing that corking would be required. So the moment I got there, I wandered around, found the people on bikes, and recruited them into the effort. After making sure we were all on the same page of the basic mission, we got started.
So one of the things we want to try to do as we're doing this is we want to do our best to facilitate traffic. We don't want to piss people off if we can avoid it. I'm just letting you know that so that way we're on the same page. I'm going to get in position to take this over here on the right.
So you're saying after it turns red?
Yep. I'm going.
The first part was pretty easy. Straight line, all downhill. Now I know this can frustrate many drivers, so let me lay out some additional context for anyone who doesn't live in a city or doesn't drive in Seattle. The march was only 100 or so people, so we only had that road and like one block covered. In America, lots of people drive with the GPS on at all times. So the moment you're diverted down a wrong turn, it's gonna adjust the directions for you automatically. My larger point is that temporary closures are something that drivers have to experience all the time from things like construction and crashes. So if we're corking properly, this shouldn't really be a big deal to anyone who isn't in a life or death situation. We didn't quite have enough people to side cork in the most optimal way by diverting upstream traffic and giving a larger buffer to the march.
Oh, wait! Watch out, you got a car coming. Remember to go around, really go around. There's a, yeah. Well, hey man, watch out! Hey, you got a truck coming for you. You got a truck coming for you. Hey! Go around. You can wait about 10 minutes if you want, but I would just go around. But there's a march. If you want to go around real quick.
Yeah, what street? I'm trying
to just one street up. Just one street up. You're good.
The most difficult part to cork was a 15-minute planned stop on the northernmost overpass of downtown Seattle, Denny, so that the marchers could speak and then put banners over it. Part of the difficulty is that there was 2 lanes to reroute in the front and 4 in the back. This is the most complex part of the march, and we're supposed to hold it for 15 minutes. This is how you know that I wasn't part of organizing this, because I would have said something. Fortunately, by this point, our little ad hoc corking group was working pretty efficiently, and we had even absorbed some new corkers along the way. But I knew that there was no way we would not experience some conflicts. Basically, as soon as I got there, someone tried to roll through, and when I stopped her, she asked what it was for, and when I told her it was for Palestine, she smiled, thanked me, and drove the other way.
You're not going to be able to get here. There's a whole bunch of people. So there's a whole bunch of people up there right now. There's a rally. They're going to hold this for about 10 minutes. Oh. So you're kind of like right on, it's for Palestine. It's for right on the edge.
God, amazing. Okay.
But yeah, it's going to be held here. So I would go down 1 or 2 streets and just go up.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And then an old couple rolled through who I don't think saw me, but We backed them up and got them diverted, no problem. They did not have a positive reaction when I explained what was going on.
I was like, hey, hey, whoa, 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 hey, hey, hey. Thank you, thank you.
What is this?
It's a Palestinian solidarity protest. If you go up about 2 streets, you'll be able to get around.
Then, after about 15 minutes, this happened.
Do you see those people, brother? Do you see them?
They just helped somebody else get through. I just need to get on the other side. That's it.
So if you go 2 streets down to Borean, you can get around. There's nobody there.
Why can't I just go right there?
Because it's really unsafe for you to drive a car through hundreds of people. That's why. 2 streets down is Borean. Literally 2 streets down, and you'll be, there's nobody there. It's totally open.
I just saw them help somebody else get through though.
Brother, they didn't come from this direction.
Yes,
I
they did. I was right behind
I don't know what you want me to do. I'm going to stand right here, and if you want to hit me, you can do that, but I'm going to stand right here.
Can you help me turn around then?
Yeah. How can I help you turn around? You want me to go block people off here?
Let me just turn around.
I'm going to let you go back. You can go back.
Oh, there's traffic. Are you not seeing this?
Brother, I didn't make you drive over here. I was trying to get you to go the other
The reason I
direction.
even fucking drove over here is because I saw them help somebody get through. So what are you talking about?
Brother, I'm really trying to help you
Move
out.
out the way so I can turn my car.
I'm going to help block this off so that you can get back.
Okay.
Can you help him get back? Can we help block this off so he can get back?
Where's he trying to go?
Hey, can you help him back up? Help him back up?
Man, like, move this bike out the way so I can just turn my
Can you
car.
help him back up? You got an open lane, brother? You got 2 lanes to go right back. I'm happy to help. 2 streets down, Borean. Jesus Christ. Thank you.
First, I want to explain that I am obscuring this person's identity because I don't think anyone should be judged based on a single incident which might have happened on the worst day in their life. I have no idea what was going on in that person's life that day, so I am going to give them a lot of grace. I am not Ham Pigby out here trying to weaponize my audience to settle scores that I am either too cowardly or too inept to handle myself. Second, let me talk about conflict. No doubt, it's frustrating to be diverted while you're driving, but like I said, that shit's happening all the time in cities like Seattle. Although I definitely did not let anyone pass me the entire time I was there, I could get why they might feel like just letting one car go shouldn't be a big deal. But I didn't have a way of communicating to the marchers in order to build a plan for them to pass through safely. I also can't confidently ensure that this person is not going to do something reckless or dangerous when they get up to the marchers who aren't paying attention. And I mean, they drove all the way up to me, almost hitting my legs. That did not generate confidence in me that this person was a safe and responsible driver. My role in that moment is to keep myself between that car and the marchers until the threat is over. I had a plan if they decided to gun it, you know? I would just jump into the windshield and try to hold on action movie style. But I mean, really, I am far better prepared to be hit by a car wearing motorcycle gear, which is designed to protect me from impacts to cars, than marchers. But if they did run through me, it would cause a scene, and it would be loud, and it would buy time for the marchers to figure out a way to protect themselves. And that's the point. It is also important to understand that this behavior is anti-solidarity with a movement that is actively fighting American fascism. This is anti-solidarity with a movement that is resisting a regime that is using our tax dollars to kill men, women, and children in a brutal and systemic way. Money that could be used to give us free healthcare, better transit, more education opportunities, or just lower our fucking taxes. To create conflict with a march like this is to be anti-solidarity with a variety of movements that are fighting for things that matter to anybody who is driving around in a Toyota Camry. One of the smallest ways that you can resist authoritarianism and show solidarity is to not make direct action like this march more dangerous or difficult than it already is. The bridge was only supposed to be occupied for 15 minutes, but it was just over 20 before the march started moving again. And fortunately, the rest of the march was drama-free. And I capped it off with a celebratory ride around the block with one of the protesters who kind of just jumped on my bike and asked me to just take her somewhere. But I love entertaining people, so I do it happily. So my goal of this video and of demystifying direct action tactics like corking is that more organizers will identify this role and fill this role with their actions. More people will show up to these rallies and to these marches with the intent to fill this role, and the perception of it from the general public will improve. I am no stranger to people being very upset about me posting low-level traffic violations like lane splitting or speeding or running red lights. But doing all of those things throughout my life is what has made me an effective and safe corker. Before I was doing stuff like this on my motorcycle, I spent my childhood ripping through the streets of Vancouver, Washington, and Portland, Oregon, and Anchorage, Alaska, all the different places I lived before I had a car. And millions of other children are doing this all the time on American streets. Kill the cop in your head is a phrase that I interpret as saying, don't let the potential unjust consequences stop you from taking just actions. The way a fascist regime succeeds is by letting their fear tactics do most of the enforcement for them. Because the reality is, it doesn't matter how many ICE agents you throw out there and how much money you pay them. In a country that is stuffed to the brim with firearms, you cannot control hundreds of millions of people. The right-wing agents, the propagandists and ICE and the cops, they're not in this for high-level principles. They're in it for the money. Trump and Stephen Miller and Tom Homan and Pam Bondi and Pete Hegseth and all those other motherfuckers are escalating this conflict as often and as much as possible because they don't give a single shit about the safety of anybody else in America other than themselves. These agents like ICE and the right-wing propagandists are not so ideologically aligned that they want to die for this shit. Although they're trying to recruit people at will. If we're going to get out of this, we're going to need a lot more direct action, a lot more student walkouts, a lot more marches at noon on a Tuesday, a lot more unionization, a lot more mutual aid, a lot more anything, really. That's not my opinion. That's just what history indicates is required for nonviolent movements to achieve truly transformative, radical change. I was not paid to cork for Palestine, and I don't believe for a second any of the students that organized or attended this were on the take either. That is just bog standard right-wing propaganda based off of accusing people of what they are actively doing. Everyone knows that the biggest funders of any activist organization are right-wing oil barons and techno-fascist oligarchs. They are enabling the new gold rush for anyone that is willing to become a right-wing provocateur that will sell out their fellow countrymen for a paycheck, either by joining forces like ICE or by building out their own platform on YouTube or Twitter or Rumble or Instagram, generating this propaganda. Corking is no doubt civil disobedience and carries with it risk in doing it and posting about doing it. This is why I recommend corkers use cameras and remove their license plates to help protect themselves. So if the authorities are going to come after me for protecting peaceful protesters in a de-escalatory fashion, then they need to go after these motherfuckers who are playing victim while being violent aggressors. But I'm guessing the police see these agent propagandists, this gang of criminals, thugs, and opportunists, as the equivalent to modern-day Nazi brown shirts. So the brown shirts go out and terrorize anybody that is protesting in support of migrant rights or trans rights or any number of civil rights, all while generating propaganda that supports the current regime and builds fear in the general population so that there's more support for aggressive police actions. So I think the police are happy to let me fuck around and find out with this phenomena happening in our streets today. So if they come for me, just make sure that they arrest Cam Higbee too. Because I have never pushed anybody, I have never maced anybody, I have never laid hands on anybody like he has. Because again, they are the violent aggressors that they claim Aunt Tifa is. He is part of a gang of right-wing thugs that are going around into communities and terrorizing them and aggressing them. That's just the truth. His audience will freak out about me pulling down a sign and be totally silent about his own violence and aggression or the violence and aggression of ICE.
Freaking, he's crashing out like this because I have a sign that says nobody should be killed in 13.
Oh, my bad. Sorry, I tripped.
Touch my stuff.
I tripped. What are you gonna do? Are you gonna mace me?
Yeah.
Please
Back
mace
the
me.
off.
Your insults mean nothing to me. I've seen what makes you cheer. The only reason I can make this video is because I do not have a boss to fear coming down at me for being so open about this. If you think what I'm doing is valuable and you want to help support independent creators, I would love for you to sign up for my Patreon or YouTube, or throw some money at me from PayPal or Venmo, or you can support someone else independently. That's totally awesome as well. And if you can't help with money, that's totally fine. Just like the video, share it around to people that you think need to know this information or that it would help them. That's extremely helpful. We are in a civil war right now. The government has declared war on people that they consider to be anti-fascist, AKA anti what they're doing. And the biggest battlefield is in the hearts and the minds of everyday people. We have to connect people's fear and anger and frustration with what is happening right now to the regime that is at the center of it. We cannot let them lie or misdirect or distract their way out of the problems that they have caused, and that they are the source of the lawlessness and the chaos and the disorder that we see in American streets. So, until next time, ride fast and take chances. Oh, Jesus.
I think this is a Google car. It's got a fucking whole thing on a million fucking cameras, and I got my ideas for genocide thing on. I'm gonna just hold this pose for a second.
No, you're all good. You're all good. People like it, honestly. You know, enough YouTubers just sit in their house and they're like, oh, you go outside and record. That's cool.